Hello there, and welcome to episode 2 of Bedrock Boot Camp with me, Nogri. So I want to start off and say thank you for all the wonderful support the community has showed me after my first episode. Obviously, with starting a new series, I'm a little nervous, and I'm very new to recording, and I appreciate all the wonderful comments and support that have been thrown my way. But on that note, we are going to go ahead and start this episode. In this episode, we're going to explore the area around us, and we're going to find a place to call home. So Minecraft is made up of what are called biomes, the different areas around. There are 75 different biomes in the Minecraft Bedrock edition, and 66 of those are in the overworld. One example of a biome would be the plains biome, which we have right here. In the plains biome, you get a lot of livestock that will spawn here. Well, that's a great start to the episode. Thank you, Mr. Creeper, for reminding me to pay attention to my surroundings and collect a few blocks along the way. But actually, one of the first things we might want to do, since we're by our little cave from the other night, is set up a few things. Let's throw down the crafting bench, take the wood, make it into wood planks. And if you take wood planks and put them in a square like this, you can get a chest. We're going to go ahead and make a double chest, or two chests. There we go. So when you put one chest down, you can use this. Oh, we've got more friends. This is why you light up your builds, people. Oh boy. And I think I lost my food because I let it sit there for too long. So we're going to eat raw pork chops. May have survived the first night, but I might not survive the first day. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's two of them. Alright, so after that little bit of adventure, we're going to go ahead and light this cave up. Spawn-proof it. Hopefully pick up the stakes. No, I've left them there too long. So items will naturally despawn after 5 minutes of being left in the world. And I had some chicken on here that was cooking earlier. And I let it sit for a little too long. Alright, so we placed down the first chest. We placed down another chest. We will actually get a double chest, which will increase our inventory by 2. We can just throw all this random junk that we will need later, but we don't need right now. The other thing that we can do to help make this more homely for the time being is to, one, pick up our food that we left and step on fire. This is going to be bad. Well, that's a great way to start the world. First death of the season. So now I have to make my way back at night to that area. Alright, so now that I'm back and picking up all the items that I've splattered all over the place, let's put some more food down there. Got some food in our hand. We'll keep that ready. And we're going to go back to this crafting table and craft something very useful. So if you take 3 planks and put them on the bottom there, and 3 pieces of wool, put them up there, we'll make a bed. They have to be the same color wool. So when it becomes nighttime and you place down the bed, you can actually sleep in it. It will skip the night and reset your spawn. Now if we go back outside, you will see that it is daytime. It means we will not have to deal with any more mobs for a little bit. So there are 66 overworld biomes, and like I said, this is a plains. The great thing about plains is you get a lot more livestock that will spawn here. So when we start setting up our farms, this is probably one of the places we go to collect the different animals. The Minecraft biomes are divided up into 6 different temperature classes. Some of the different classes are snowy, cold, temperate, dry, ocean, and neutral. And they can go from anywhere being snow being ice spikes, snowy tundra, cold are the mountains, which include gravel mountains and taigas. The temperate are your forests, your plains, your swamps, or your dry ones, which are like the deserts and the savannas. Then you have ocean, which has their own separate classes. And then you have neutral, which include all the different hills. Over there, we have a savanna biome. They are a dry biome, so it means it will never rain there, and it is also the only place that you can get acacia trees, which are those trees that are up there. They have a gray bark and an orange interior. Another dry biome is the desert. The desert is made up mostly of sand, and underneath that is sandstone. It's also one of the few places you can get cactus. When wandering through a desert, you need to look out for the desert temples, which we will end up raiding those in another episode, and you have to watch out for husk. The husk are the desert versions of zombies. They will drop rotten flesh when they are killed. When they hit you, they will actually cause hunger, which means all your movements take up more hunger bars. Another biome is the forest biome. There are a couple types of them. You have the normal forest, which has oak wood and birch wood mixed in. You can have a birch forest, which would be all birch. You have a flower forest, which would have all the different types of flowers. Well, while I was out exploring, I came across 2 sea turtles. There's actually something really cool you can get from sea turtles. It's called a scoot, and with a scoot, you can make a turtle helmet. And in order to get that, you actually have to go and kill this. No, I'm joking. You don't have to kill a sea turtle to get the scoot. There's other ways to get it, and we will explain that to you at a later time. So after doing a little bit of exploring and taking out a few cows along the way, I've picked up a little bit of leather. Leather can actually be used in the crafting table to make some armor. So if you take leather, put the line up there, another line here, the line there, you get leather pants. Then you take the leather, put 2 here and 2 here, you can get some boots. It's not much, but if we equip these, we actually get a little bit of protection. If you notice, above my hearts, there are now some what look like chest pieces. That represents the amount of armor that we have. Leather armor is the weakest in the game, so it doesn't give us too much protection. Even if I had a full set, it wouldn't do a whole lot. But we gotta do what we gotta do at the beginning. And before we go on a little more of an adventure, we're gonna make another very useful tool for getting around. First of all, we have to make a shovel. We take that shovel and put it here, right in the center, and we put a U around it. With oak planks, we get an oak boat, which will help us get through the ocean a lot quicker. Before we go jump in the ocean, we're actually going to show off one real quick. This is a warm ocean and is the only place where you can find coral, coral blocks, and coral fans. You can also find tropical fish, which you can pick up with a bucket and transport if you wanted to make an aquarium, which I don't think we're going to do that this season, but it's always a choice. We will come back to coral at another time. Alright, so now that we have this boat, we can actually go exploring a little bit faster. I always find exploring by water to be the quickest way to get around in the early game. Oh nice, we found ourselves a flower forest. If we hop out here and look around, you can see there's multiple types of flowers that we can get. So we'll pick up a few of each just to get us going for a while. So this flower forest was actually on a tiny little island. And I'm going to use this tiny little island to look around a little bit, kind of get a lay of the land. If we look over there, we can actually see a taiga, which is one of the places we can get spruce wood. Those tall trees are spruce trees. And behind that we have a mountain. Now mountains go up a lot higher than the rest of the terrain, and they're not the new mountains that are going to be in 1.18. I'm looking forward to seeing those. In these mountains we have a chance of actually finding emeralds, emerald ore to be exact, and also infested stone, which we want to avoid, because when you break those without silk touch, you'll get attacked by silverfish. In the taiga, one of the other things that you can find are foxes and berries. Well, we did a little bit of looking around, got a little bit of lay of the land, but there's another way that you can find out what biomes are in your area, or if you are looking for some of the rarer biomes, check out Chunkbase. Chunkbase is a great tool that can show you the different biomes, and it can even show you some of the structures. Chunkbase can also show you where some of the spawners are, where ravines are, and where the treasure is. I do not like using Chunkbase for that. I like to use it for the biomes and a few other little features that I will show you. Alright, well this is chunk base. What you do is, you take your seed, you put it in here, you pick the version that you want. We are on Bedrock, 16 and above, and then you put the dimension you want to look at. It will show you any of these different features. I have it currently set to show the biomes and the spawn point. So we spawned in right here, and I'm pretty sure that we ventured up to here, which is where we have our little cave. But if I wanted to find some different biomes, I would be able to zoom out, and as I move my cursor around, you'll see on the bottom right hand side of the map, they will tell you what the biome is and the location of it. So we have a lot of desert down to the south and up to the north, forests and plains all over here. We have all the different oceans. It can just give you the idea of where things are. It can also help you find different biomes that you may want resources from. So let's say I wanted to find some dark oak, which you get from a dark forest. I go down to the filter biome and I start typing in what I'm looking for. Dark forest. Dark forest or dark forest hills will all work. Once you click on it, it blanks out everything else and gives you those biomes. I would have to go to the southeast to find a good chunk of dark forest. Now dark forest is also good for finding mushrooms and possibly mansions. We will get to mansions in another episode because they are extremely rare, and I highly doubt that I'm going to find one in this area. I could use chunk base to find it, but there are other ways in-game to find one. Another very rare but very important biome is the jungle. Now as we can see on here, there are no jungles nearby, but if we zoom out, we can see that there's a couple of them. We got a little one over here that is about 6,000 blocks away from spawn. We have another bigger one here that's about the same, 4,500, 3,200. Yeah, a long way away. Not something that we're going to want to do anytime soon. But the great thing about jungles is they offer up jungle wood, bamboo, cocoa, ocelots, which are cats, parrots, jungle temples, and pandas. So as we set it back, show everything again, we can kind of look around, and there are a few biomes that have some very unique colors that stick out. If we look over here, this is what we call the Badlands. A lot of people like to call it a mesa, which was the old name, but is considered a Badlands now. Badlands is the only place to get a lot of terracotta. You also can get cactus from it in red sand. It is also the only place that mine shafts will spawn near the surface, actually sticking out into the surface. It's also very heavy with gold. One of the other colors that sticks out over here is the Mushroom Island. The Mushroom Islands are home to mushroom cows, which are the red variant of cows, and is also the only place you can get mycelium, which you can use to grow mushrooms on. The great thing about Mushroom Islands is no hostile mobs will spawn on Mushroom Islands. They can spawn in the water around it, but in the area of the actual Mushroom Island, mobs will not spawn. That includes the area underneath and above, so caves are safe from mobs. And then the last important biome that we're going to talk about are the swamps. Swamps are the only places where you can find witch huts, which you can use to make a witch farm, and it's also the only place that slimes will spawn on the surface. And they only spawn, I think it's during a rainstorm at night. One other biome that I'm going to bring up is the gravel mountains. Well, gravelly mountains. As you can see, they are few and far between, but at gravelly mountains are literally mountains made of gravel, which is great if you want to make a lot of things out of concrete, or if you just need gravel for anything else. So that's a quick rundown of what you can get from chunk base. I just like to use it for biome. Sometimes I'll look up villages and maybe ocean monuments because those are great resources. Other than that, I try to stay away from the rest of this stuff. So another good thing about plains is it's one of two biomes, this and the savanna, where horses will spawn. Horses are another good way to get around, especially early game. But we do not have a saddle, so we are not going to be taking this horse with us. Another important thing you want to look for when trying to find a place to settle down is a village. You want to be somewhat close to villages because they offer good resources with the villagers that they have inside. So after doing a little looking around, I kind of decided I want to stay close to spawn. Spawn is actually right over there, so we're not going to be too far from it. And I'm going to set up on this little ridge that overlooks the ocean. which gives us access to all the different biomes that are close by. And it gives us planes, which we can use to collect all our different livestock that we're going to need. Now, this being called Bedrock Boot Camp, I think I'm going to do something a little military style for my starter home. So we're going to start by throwing down some fence post. Not there, preferably, but stick with it for now. Go out about 3 blocks in between. Back those up. Another one up there for now. Oh, I used... Nope. Get this one back. If I can get it up there. Let's put this one on top. Then from here, I'm going to try to get this wood block on top here. Take this down. Run this across. We're going to take some wool, put it here. Don't think I'm enough wool for that, so let me take these corners out. Put wood in the corners. And on the bottom, I'm going to put some cobblestone. Wood in the corners here too. More wool. Wood. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Take these temporary blocks out. Oh, I need this one out too, because that's got to be cobblestone. Run some cobblestone along here till it lines up. We'll take this out. Then we have ourselves a little tent. Nothing too fancy. I think this is going to work as a great little starter house. And as we build up, we might actually add some military-themed buildings. Put that there. Now we got to grab our bed. So let's fill in this back wall a little bit after I put down a crafting table. Every good home's got to have a crafting table. Then we're going to make a few more fence posts. Put those down, take half. Put 3 in each of those. Probably don't need that many fence posts, but we'll go with it. Fill this back in here. That way nothing can sneak up behind us. We will throw our bed down in the middle. We'll have room for our chest. Actually, I don't want the bed there. We'll throw our bed down right here. Throw a chest here. A double chest here. Give us a little room to put our inventory in. And now we're just missing one thing. Every good tent needs a campfire. Alright, well before we call it a day, we have one more thing to take care of. Our Bedrock Boot Camp comment of the episode. For episode 1, I'm going with Been Waiting for This. Come on, no gree. Going to Play Along Too by Matt Wilby. The reason I chose this one is because it's exciting to think that other people will be playing along as I do my first ever survival tutorial Let's Play series. Alright, well we have our little tent and campsite set up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Stay tuned for the next episode where we start setting up farms and making this look like a more livable area. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and like the video so we can see more content of this. I should be starting to stream on Twitch on this world soon, so check that out. I'll probably be doing that in RTX, and we will see you guys in the next video. No gree out.